All right, man, we're back out here again, working in the garage on the good old Gx460. We're gonna try and get some CarPlay added to this thing because it needs it. It's 2018, so it doesn't have any form of CarPlay, just touchscreen and normal Bluetooth audio and all that, which is fine. Doesn't do anything, terrible, but it would be nice to just have CarPlay, in general. So we have a little kit that we bought that's similar to the main one that a lot of people buy, but it looks like it's a little different in the grand scheme of things. It's just a Linux box. There we go, screaming dirty. It's just a Linux box, so little guy will basically hook up underneath the dash itself. It comes with all of our wiring and everything additional in here that's needed. So pretty much going to tear apart the center console so we can get active and get everything going for what we need to do for this. But it looks like it's going to be decently straightforward. I mean, all the connectors should be basically plug and play, so I don't imagine this should be too much of a pain, but we'll have to get into all the interior pieces to make sure it's easy. So we got everything laid out on the floor. For the most part, everything has all its wraps on it and whatnot. No clue what any of this stuff does as a starting point, but we'll get into it, take a peek and see what we can figure out. Seems, like I said, straightforward. There's definitely going to be some plug and play type deals, like that blue, that red clearly goes here for input output. Gray looks like it's probably this piece here, which might be an antenna for Bluetooth or something. Oh, yep, Wi-Fi. So I have that, and then the camera and power and audio. Cool. So everything's literally plug and play. This stuff probably just goes right in to the factory stuff, and we should be good. So let's get into it. So this is the brand BeatHaven. Some of these are, well, this is some of the instructions on how to set it up once, it's all hooked up and whatnot, but otherwise, it's pretty much the same thing as the others from what it seemed like. I just got this one because it seemed to be, cheaper in price, but it still seemed to do the same thing. So we'll see how true that is once we're all said and done, but should let you use Apple CarPlay like anything else. You can use any of the other Android stuff if you have those too, so yeah. And then here's some of the other documentation and a coffee spill user manual to step through the setup. But overall, this is pretty much how we're going to connect everything up. Looks pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy. So let's get into the car. We're going to start getting everything in place. So this, we're in neutral. We pulled the power for the battery just so we can stay here and have the parking brake up. So that way this is where it needs to be. We're pretty much going to just pry off. Move these out of the way for now. We're just going to pry off these side panels so we can get to this on the driver and passenger side. And these are just clipped in. Should be just clipped in. So should be able to slowly pull both driver and passenger off to make it work. There we go. Okay, we got one out. And the other one I think was already on its way out here. There we go. Okay. Both of those are out. We're going to pull this for our shifter down. There we go. And we should be able to rotate this counterclockwise to get it all the way off and out of the way, because we're going to be taking this center piece off. So move that over out of the way. And then there's a couple bolts here on the side that we need to get rid of so we can lift this up. And I think they look like they're 10s. Yeah, so let me get a 10 bolt real quick. So before we take those out, we need to take this little trim piece off, which apparently should be able to come to the back of this. Apply some downward pressure, which I'm not really sure how you can do that when this is an upward piece, but hey, there we go. Nice. So slides right out. No complaints there. Now we can get our bolts, which are indeed all 10 mil. So you should be able to, I believe it's the back portion of this trim. I'll move you guys out of the way real quick. Yeah, because it all connects to this. So there's this trim piece right here. that basically needs to come off, which is great for me because there's some dirt and stuff under here that I need to get out. There we go. Just kind of pull it over to the side and lift it out. There is a little connector right here. Let me turn the flash on. There we go. All right. Now you can see it, little gray connector. We'll disconnect that. And there's a couple other ones that are going to be up front, so we can get those, the heaters and all that stuff out too. And we can hopefully just move this to the side. Nice. There is the connector, or the disconnect for the connectors on the backside underneath. So that way you should hopefully be able to see it a little bit better. And then, cool, our center console is officially out of there. All right, we got everything disconnected underneath. 3 connectors. Should hopefully be able to move this out of here a little bit more. Shifter, cool. It looks like there's one other connector, which I believe you can either leave connected or disconnect it, either way, but we should be able to hopefully move everything over to the side without much of a fight. Cool, and then we have access to pretty much everything you could think you would want access to, so fantastic. Now there are 2 more bolts right in here, one on each side. We'll take those out, and then we should be able to pull this whole piece itself out, so that way we can get to the back pieces. Hopefully just pull it out. I don't think there's anything else additional because we took the side ones off. Yeah. So then we should be good to just... Nice. Okay. I'm sure there's going to be some wiring here that we need to take out, remove, blah, blah, blah. So let me get to that, find out what we need to take out. Okay, so we basically hooked up all of our wiring pieces on the back. It's plug and play. Again, nothing can go into the other direction. So blue goes to blue, burgundy goes to burgundy, white goes to white. And then we should be good to set everything up. Again, the white is the Wi-Fi. The blue, I think, is for some type of input. And then the burgundy is for the output. Then you have your audio lines, because we're going to basically get in the middle of everything with your normal radio. And we should be good to hook this up to the back of the radio itself. And then we'll have our antenna and some of the other video outputs and whatnot as well. So let's get to the back of this radio and start pulling stuff apart. So right away, as we get into the back of this, because you can't pull this out super far just because of all the other connecting pieces that are behind it. But this big white wire, it's the first thing we're going to disconnect. There should be a little arm, which is going to be the exact same setup that we have on the new part. So this is the arm itself. It pretty much is a swivel. So this will be pushed in all the way. Once it's in its rightful home, you'll pull that out first, and you can pull the whole thing out. And then this is essentially going to connect into the car wiring itself. And then this will plug into your radio. So that way you'll be interfaced in. And then there's one other wire that's on the back. That's, you probably can't see it very well, but there's a white wire. There's a few different white wires, but on the upper left side, should be back here. One of these back here. You should be able to disconnect and connect into the other secondary piece as well. Connect that into here, and then the other end will connect in to the car itself or into the radio itself. So that way you'll have these 2 pieces separate, plug it in, and that should be good to go. This will go back into your Hamilton, your CarPlay wireless piece. That should be good. And then we'll also disconnect. There's a green one way back here on the bottom. Not sure if you'll be able to really see that, but you'll disconnect that one, and then we can start working on the burgundy and blue to get those wired up as well. All right, things escalated a little bit just because I thought I had they gave me the wrong part, but the blue stuff is underneath this, which you need to get access to. So you got to drop the glove box. Kind of started doing stuff. I had to look up a video real quick, but drop the glove box. All these are just pushed in with clips. So I pull from the top down, pull it. 2 hands should be good. And then up top where your vents are, you are going to pull the vent, underneath just to pull that part, and then this part will come out last, and then you'll pretty much be almost where I'm at. Now you can come over here and just pull your starter wiring setup off. I just peeled it from here out and then pulled the bottom part off. So now we can take the 2 bolts out that are on both sides, and then we should be able to slide this interface out, get access to the back, and then keep moving forward. There we go. So able to just pull it out with those bolts out, and then we can keep moving forward with actually disconnecting the right things. I was very confused for a moment, but we'll pull this blue wire out for the video, and the input and output, and then we should be able to hook all that up, put it back in, and put our bolts back together. So should be good. So we have everything hooked up as our secondary piece. We have our, what is this, the input? Blue is the input, yep, and then the burgundy is the output. So the output is going to be the part that actually goes into your box itself directly here. So that's the other connecting piece, and then it goes through our Linux box to convert everything across. So now we have that done. We're going to route everything down into the glove box is our end goal. So we'll go ahead and get everything lined up so we can put this back and kind of bolt everything up. Now there is a little panel that is over here in your glove box that you can use to just route things through. So we'll be doing that. This is the panel itself. Pretty small, but a lot of space that will let you route anything through. This is where we're going to put the Linux box, just sitting in here. So work out perfect. And now we can just start bolting everything back, snapping things back into place, and route all our wires through the side. Should be good to go. So let's put it back together. All right, we got the moment of truth. Finally time to plug everything in. Everything's back interior wise together again. Wipe some stuff down because it's never been touched. But now we can plug in all of our extra pieces, the wireless stuff, everything over here should be set. Officially buttoned up everything on here. It's plugged in, it's in a glove box now with all of our extra wires. Nothing crazy. We didn't do anything with the camera stuff that it came with. I'm assuming that's for some external camera, aside from the car's camera, but we'll see. But all the connectors connect right in where they're supposed to go, so there's not really anything to plug in incorrectly for that, which is good. So we'll get the battery powered up again, or hooked back up, and then we'll just see where we get. All right, let's turn the car on. Key fob, of course. Got our keys. Let's try again. Okay, does all the things like normal. The screen. As soon as I say that, system loading, don't turn off power. So we'll give that a moment. Just keep it rolling in real time. See how far we get here. All right, default Lexus stuff. Normal continue button, cool. Normal maintenance stuff, cool. Need to rotate my tires, ignore that. Cool. Everything else is the default, which is fantastic. And then I think you're supposed to hold this button. Oh, easy peasy. All right. And then CarPlay. Use your phone to pair the device to Bluetooth. Follow instructions on your phone. Okay, so let me follow the directions on this real quick. All right, we figured it out. So let me walk you through everything for whatever you're trying to achieve here on this side. So we'll start with the car off. Most of you guys know the normal process. Start the car any other day, turn it on. If you have CarPlay enabled, it should just automatically come back to it after it loads the default Lexus stuff. Da-da-da-da-da, default Lexus screen, okay. And then 3, 2, 1. Once it connects through Bluetooth, since I'm using the car Bluetooth in order for it to just work for CarPlay. Oh, it didn't go back this time. Well, it did last time, but you can hold this, which is just this button you're holding to get you back to the screen. But 2 seconds ago, it just took me right back here. So I'm not sure which is the expected behavior, but I mean, it's CarPlay now. There are normal stuff on here, normal screens. Apparently you can edit some of this, but you got some of your default settings in here that you can go through, do your maps, you know what I mean, all the normal stuff. So that way you don't have to worry too much about everything else. But yeah, looks like it's doing what it's supposed to do. Audio's there. So we got all that. And then if you want to switch back to anything different, you can just, oh, it kicked me out. Hold it, and then it'll let you come back to this screen, essentially. Hold it again, kick you back and forth, whatever your preference is. But you can hear the clicks of the Linux box in there, so that's cool. But I wonder, you go back here, go to your settings, and then you can go back to, oh, I think it's return. Oh, I gotta find it again. But there's a return option to go back to the main screen. There it is, thinking too hard. Car home, then you can go back and change anything. So I'm using CarPlay. You can obviously use any of the other ones if you need to. Android's on here too. I think it's the autoplay, right? Or AutoLink, one of the two, but I have an iPhone, so not really a concern. You can use USB, camera, setup, any of that stuff if you want. Bluetooth is where you're gonna connect your phone, and then you should be able to go back to setup, and I think you can do car settings, no, smartphone. You can turn on things, turn off things, whatever you want. Within here, change your display, colors, sites, all that stuff. Audio, you can change the volume for certain things too, which is fantastic. Has its own separate thing. System, it says use car's Bluetooth channel. Let's just turn that off, see if it makes any difference. Because if it just connects to your phone through CarPlay directly through the Linux box instead of to the car, that might work for audio, but we'll see here in a minute. And we know now we will need to have that turned on for use for CarPlay only. So we're gonna need that in order for your car to connect to or your phone to connect to the car through Bluetooth. That will allow the audio to work through the car like normal, but you'll see the CarPlay features. Cool. And now we should be able to hear the audio again. Sweet. And we sure can. So we're doing good. It looks good. Looks like it's doing everything it's supposed to do. Works fantastically. It's pretty smooth. No complaints for me. And the reverse camera, as OEM, works just fine. Just so we're aware. And this is another new thing, is your parking sensors. It'll just show it in a different view. Could be prettier, but who cares? So that's going to end it for this video. Appreciate y'all for watching as always. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if y'all want to see anything else for this specific unit, but aside from that, that's it for me for the CarPlay stuff. So peace out. Catch y'all later.